I've been drawing since I was a kid. When I was 4, I saw Empire Strikes Back and Raiders of the Lost Ark as a double feature, and kind of blew my mind, and from there, I just wanted to like scribble and tell stories. After childhood, I mean, it's sketchbook all the way to adult. Ended up going to Columbia College in Chicago for animation. Ended up in Chicago working for an advertising agency, and then everywhere else in between. So a bunch of local shops in Northwest Indiana, doing everything. And all the while, still just kind of plugging away at my own stuff and my own art. Humalian was 7 years ago when I started the Kickstarter. 2000, I came up with the concept, self-published a book, went and got rejected by every publishing company in the world. It took me a good 14 years to kind of rethink the whole thing, put the thing back together in a process that, and in a way I thought it would work, and launched Kickstarter, successful Kickstarter, and it helped kind of open up a lot of doors that I didn't have before. It's what I would want to read as a comic book fan. And it's really a hero's journey. This guy's out of place, and he's the only human on the planet, and hangs around with these aliens and weirdos and just try to overtake the villainous evil trinity that runs the planet. I wrote Skeleton Boy and the Moon Balloon as an antithesis to the kids' books that I was reading to my daughter every night. Like, a lot of children's books are great, and I'm influenced heavily, like Dr. Seuss and Where the Wild Things Are. Maurice Sendek's like pen work is so beautiful in that book. And I'm like, I can do this. So I started writing it and published it and put it out there, and it was surprisingly a huge success. And like, yeah, it's a Halloween-themed kids book. It's kind of like, hey, everybody's got weird friends. Let's embrace our weirdness, and let's embrace the fact that not everybody's the same. And the only time these kids can play together is if the moon's out. And yeah, you want to stay with your friends and hang out forever in a weird graveyard? Cool. With meeting up with smugglers, it came about in a couple different ways. Grindhouse Cafe in Griffith messaged me. There's this coffee company called Smugglers. At the same time, Dave from Smugglers got a hold of me via Instagram, and it just worked out. And I was like, hey, you need art? And he's like, I need art. And like, let me make up a label. And I did the +1 for Charisma label for him. And it's been an ongoing relationship. Dave will say, I've got this idea. What do you want to do? And then I'll go and I'll sketch something up really quick, and then he'll, cool, done. And it's not a lot of, it's a lot of hands off. It's like, you're the creative who's make sure it says these things or has these things on it, and we get to do fun things. Like, we did a play on the Dragonlance books, and when you get the author of the original Dragonlance books to kind of like retweet your art and do those things, you're like, we did something right. We did something really cool. I was doing a comic book called Dark Echo, and it's my love letter to like RPGs and just the fantasy world. And I did 2 mini books, and we released them at C2E2, and they were mini 8.5 by 11 folded, hand stapled, like old school zine style, like indie books, and it's very much punk rock. Right? It's DIY. It's like, we did it, you can do it, like, just keep it going. I teach high school art, and really like animation and game design, and these are things they're gonna learn in college. They're not gonna learn these at the high school level, and Portage High School's been amazing to give me the opportunity to bring that to those kids. Over the past 3 years that I've been there, numbers have grown. The amount of kids who want to learn graphic design or to learn how to set up a YouTube channel or to create these things, it's overwhelming. I have students who are like sophomores who are getting logo commissions, and I'm like, this is impressive. Like, you're a professional. You got paid for work that somebody else can't do. You're a professional logo designer. You have to have that kind of childlike sense of wonder, if you will, just to kind of keep pushing you to say, this is what I want to do. This is why I do it. I do it because of the 4-year-old who was sitting there playing with Transformers or He-Man toys. And it's all for that kid. It's always in service of younger me. And if 16-year-old me knew that, like, hey, you get paid to draw robots and monsters, and like, yeah, that's pretty cool.